Hey guys, sebchoof here. Recently, Deca hosted a Q&A where anyone could submit questions for all sorts of Deca staff to answer, like the community manager, the designers, and more. Today we'll be looking over questions and answers which discuss future content updates like classes and dungeons, balances, cheating, and much more. I'm going to be going through the questions and answers with my insights. Comment down below what you think, and of course subscribe and like while you're down there. 6 years ago, this answer was given on the QA. Our stance on cheating is clear, and as mentioned in multiple prior responses, our tracking is becoming more advanced and our actions more firm. Discord servers, oh, I didn't know that this was a thing. What? Really? Discord servers are an extension of communities within the game and are self-governed. We believe our anti-cheat efforts are best placed in the game itself, as our influence on Discord servers beyond this official one would be limited and ultimately not do much to solve the issues of cheaters directly. Evidence shows that from these past years that this statement has not held up. I have reported cheaters that don't get banned, or they get a very light temporary ban. Are things going to be put in place to fight against these cheaters who are auto-dodging, creating impossible keys, duping, and all these other cheats? I can just read it here, hold on. To address Kensei Hater, Sam Riddle, and Reddit's topics on cheaters, our stance on cheating hasn't become more lenient. I don't know about that. They started doing 2-week bans instead of permabans on some cheats. Even some people cheating really hard. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. However, our actions have been limited due to compounding legal issues and a lack of manpower in some rare situations. However, the team internally has been actively working on resolving this roadblock, and we have some huge milestones coming up on the horizon real soon. Though I can't share any specific details at this time due to the sensitive nature of this matter. What's important is that we wish to assure you our intent remains focused on fighting the ongoing cheater problem with all resources available to us and making a bigger impact to compensate for the issues these last few months. Right as we speak, the events are unfolding and we already have multiple permanent ban waves issued in just these last few days. They actually did do some perma ban waves, which I, respect them for, but it's been too lenient for too long, targeting many main accounts involved in prominent cheating. We also have other things in the works targeted at gameplay cheats such as auto-next, auto-dodge, features which are going to improve our ability to track and flag this behavior and issue disciplinary action against it. That, combined with upcoming legal improvements, should allow us to significantly increase our impact in disciplinary context. Are there any plans to expand visual accessibility features? I'm specifically hoping for the ability to adjust opacity sliders. Oh yeah, they showed this. Yeah, so we can skip reading this. Look at that. That's beautiful. That would be a lot better than what we currently have, because you can set all the different things individually instead of just toggle them off and on, and hopefully you can bring them to 0. Will Druid be getting any tweaks along the way? This class feels very unfinished and in some ways really bad to play, so it would be really nice if we got some time, it got some reworks or rebalancing. Yes, we plan on making improvements to Druid. We've been very aware of some feedback and around the gameplay field of the class. Not all of these can be addressed, and some are concern caused to the identity of the class. But we absolutely plan to make improvements wherever possible. We have a quick set of fixes for some issues coming up hopefully next week, and another set of them in the following release. Beyond that, we still be looking at feedback and ways to improve the game feel and things like tooltips. We may address some of the aforementioned core issues, but we would need time to decide on actions for those. Next. Is it possible that you might implement some sort of accessibility features like colorblind mode, or perhaps an option to remove the visual effects that darkens the screen during parts of the Soul Warden Mauritian fight and the Bridge Sentinel fight? Or maybe let us remove the Blizzard visual effect in the Ice Citadel? Quality of life and blah blah very important to us. While we have considered blah blah, we'll take a look at blah 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 blah. Okay, I remember at some point in 2020, right after the Exalt launch, you guys made a roadmap related with some projects that might come to light at some point. One of them was a mobile port for the game. I don't remember that. Is this still an idea in the table at the least time being scrapped? Currently, we don't have any plans for this. A mobile port at the moment would take away significant resources we spend on the game, core systems, and technical issues. Fuck a mobile port, man. You can play Darza's Dominion or Born Again for that. Yeah, you could actually play Realm on mobile during Flash days, but not during Exalt. Will we ever see a major rework to the various errors in the game? Most are in broken English and don't provide any real info to troubleshoot, or seeing that loading vault is longer than usual while I'm loading into the Nexus and press OK 50 times is not helpful to anyone. What a weird question. Okay, next. I'll skip through some stuff. Okay, he's talking talking about getting blocked by chat messages. Along with our step down on cheating, we're also working on internal processes improvements that allow us more effective reach in regards to offensive language and any griefing violations. You or anyone who is a witness to such an incident can support, so you can report people that are griefing and they actually will get banned. Probably more successfully than cheaters, believe it or not. It's also worth noting that an immediate remedy is the ignore function from in-game, which will eliminate the issue and help you focus on more important things. What is griefing in Realm? Dragging, using massive text bubbles to block shots, spamming the chat, saying offensive stuff in the game, and dragging. But dragging the least so, because it's hardest to prove. But if someone's like spamming M's and W's, it's pretty obvious that they're trying to annoy you. Yeah, I've seen the trickster decoying. I wonder if they ban for the trickster decoying. Any plans to make shinies drop for non-seasonal in any capacity at a lower rate while Crucible locked would be my suggestion. Beyond the other glaring issues, it seems that the blocking of shinies behind seasonal has in turn led to my non-seasonal characters and now collecting dust. I and my friends see no reason to play them. I am so bad at reading. Also, seeing as a Realm Classic is never going to happen, what about a Classic style texture pack? No one wants to see a Realm Classic texture pack, I feel like. Texture pack? You do? Really, World Watch? Oh damn. But yeah, we have seen that seasonal exclusive shinies are a point of contention within the community. While we don't have any immediate plans regarding this, we will be discussing our options eternally. I hope they do a Realm Classic one day. Also, any plans to rework Oryx Castle, Oryx Chamber, and Wine Cellar? These instances are one of the fundamental aspects what makes the game all about. It's weird that Oryx Sanctuary is the mostly refined instance regarding Oryx content. And lastly, rework for plans for OT, Tomb, and Puppet. You know what? I think Oryx should actually get a loot boost at least, because when Realm got reworked, it made Realm like Oryx. Going to Oryx used to be so OP. Time for loot wise. Sorry, loot for time wise. But now since the Realm is so OP, much more than the Oryx, they made it so much more beneficial. It's a bit of a waste of time going into Oryx unless you are guaranteed going to O3. Yo, Lamb Sauce, how's it going? I got no idea. If they're gonna fix that. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. I mean, they always do fix dupes in Realm, but the cheaters behind, the people that develop duping methods and cheats behind this game are like the most degen people you'll ever meet, and they spend the most time on this shit more than anyone. There's like no way you can stay on top of them. Does that make sense? Like, big companies already have such a hard time with the insane amount of resources to stay on top of cheats. Like, for example, Counter-Strike 2 were bragging at how they were going to solve cheating basically and prevent it, but they didn't. So yeah, I can't imagine Realm is gonna do it too well. I can imagine that the Realm resources are way lower than Counter-Strike's as well. It's improved and unimproved in many ways. Like, the content is obviously better, Bruniasti. The content is better. The quality of life is better, but bugs, monetization, cheating, servers, all probably worse. Oh, the net change. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe you're right. I don't know if people would still be playing though if the game was stagnant from when Deca took over. It's hard to say. No change at all. Yeah, the content designers are so sick. Okay, next. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Here we fucking go. Are there any plans for an official self-found, account-found mode that disables trading? We've gone over this idea a few times before, and Crucible even was originally supposed to be this kind of system for this, but it morphed into being more of a seasonal variety of mode. No! We still like this idea, and it's actually come up in a discussion again more recently. There's no concrete place for this on our roadmap, but it likely we try to do something to provide an official mode for these things at some point. You fucks! Are there any plans for encounters to get their own unique event rights, or are you happy with the current distribution of event rights? Hello, this is Nano. While there are no recent plans for this on the Deca side, we actually have something for this coming up very soon on the UGC side of development. Stay tuned. Holy! Anything got to do with bots like spam bots, blah 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 blah. Harmful to the play base and remove revenue. We're at a constant arms race to stay ahead of these accounts. As we implement new filters and detection methods, they shift their tactics to bypass them. Just like the cheats, they have a tough time staying on top of spam bots, but that's something that mods could fix. Will we ever get a player moderator system like RuneScape, where people who are trusted by Deca can volunteer to be player moderators, who really only have the right to mute people, but also their reports on cheaters and such get more priority? Hi, Tiramisu here. That's something that was assigned to me a while back to put together an in-game moderator team. The idea is pretty close to what you're describing. Right now it's blocked due to legal dependencies, similar to what we've mentioned previously regarding our response to cheaters. We're not 100% sure it would work exactly as described here, but the direction so far is similar. Once we're able to move forward, the goal is to involve trusted members of the community in a structured way. This would actually solve bots and cheaters, I think. Maybe not outright solve them, but it would make a massive improvement. That's the best change they could make towards cheaters and bots about... Well, I don't know. It's some German stuff. They're based in Germany, so I don't know. Surely there's another German company that doesn't have these roadblocks. Because this is the first time that I've heard an online game... Wait, really? Is it actually that crazy, Anthony? Do you know anything about it? I'm taking Decker's word for it, but I also have a bit of trust issues. Any chance we could see the daggers be changed to be more unique? Everything from the damage to the range, and even the sprites of the bullets feel really average. I kind of like them. I think they're fine. We do somewhat agree that daggers have been more with the boring weapon type. We have some ideas for general weapon system improvements, and if we get to those daggers, we'll definitely get the roll more. Something that would be cool if you did more damage to enemies from behind, if you shoved daggers in the enemy's bottoms or something. Design-wise, Knight and Trickster have abilities that come from an era where MP was hard to come by and abilities were harder to use effectively. Now with more power creep, wisdom, and pets, it's largely trivial to keep your ability constantly active, leading to massive encounter designs issues when accounting for perma-stunning or perma-decoying bosses. You've solved this by making more bosses simply immune to these effects, which of course feels awful for these classes themselves. Are there plans for comprehensive ability reworks for Knight and Trickster to either rework stun or decoy, or remove the effects entirely and allow these classes to shine in other ways? When it comes to Trickster, it is one of our next classes to be reworked. Uh-oh, my favorite class. Uh-oh. I hope they don't fuck it. Whether it keeps its current decoy effect or it becomes something new is still early in planning to say. About Knight, there is a larger discussion about status effects in general we are having internally. They're probably still going to do that stacking thing. We have no immediate plans for this on release. We have ideas we would like to bring to fruition sooner than later. Please don't fuck Trickster, please. How are you going to rework stun? I think they might make it that Knight doesn't stun anymore. Or, this was in testing before, if an enemy gets stunned or something, it gains a resistance to it. So like you can't just perma stun. It becomes like, I mean, I'm not sure if it had this, but it could have like a meter where over time the stuns, like if you spam stun, it becomes marginally worse. And then if you give it time, it would bounce back up, you know? Is it possible for stat mod multiplier to be standardized across all abilities with stat mod? It's very frustrating to make a stat mod build and roll for standard enchant, only to later find out it's impossible to roll or the enchant doesn't actually see the effect of scaling. Tiered seals and motivational megaphone takeover drums are the main abilities I've had this issue with. Wait, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. Any chance for Lost Halls to be reworked? Uh-oh, my favorite dungeon. Uh-oh. There have been some ideas for it before, but it would be a very big project, so we currently don't have it on the roadmap for this year. This, along with OT and Tomb, are dungeons we would really like to spend a lot of effort on if we did rework them. I think OT and Tomb should be prioritized. Tomb by far. As we keep going into the future, these dungeons will likely need even more attention than they do now, so they may increase in priority for us. Dude, Tomb is so bad. Like, if you think about it logically, the Sarks are just there to be fucking annoying. Because the Sarks are spam, like, have weaken enemies throughout the room, and weaken is just a debuff that is just there to piss you the fuck off. It is so cringe. They could make it that the Sarks could actually be kind of a cool mini-boss, but instead it's fucking cringe. I have more of an issue with the Sarks than the actual bosses of Tomb. Oh yeah, it stuns you as well. It's so troll. But yeah, Tomb could be so cool. Tomb suffers from it used to be endgame. Even when it was endgame before, it was cringe. You cannot make arguments for the Sark ever being good. Though there are some really cool things about Tomb. I mean, I like the fact that you have to clear the Sarks, but the Sarks themselves are cringe. It's really cool that there's traps and you can disable them. The enemies are fucking cunts as well. The fact that they run away when you approach them on a melee, holy shit. And yeah, the bosses are pretty outdated, especially the Geb Rage. Otherwise, I actually kind of like the bosses, how they interact with each other, how they spin around the arena. The Sarks giving life, though, aren't a design thing. We're talking about like how they behave, you know, as a game. Imagine if nothing gave loot in this game. Sarks would probably be the last thing you would want to do in this entire game. Please, will guilds ever see an update or meaningful? Why'd you ignore such a free question? What? We have discussed ideas for a possible guild update. It's been so long. But they did add guild, which is a guild update. But that was like 8 years ago. But nothing further to share in terms of ETA this time. This is more of a wish list than a question, but I was wondering if the Cursed Library seal and the Ancient Ruins seal could regain their duration and radius scaling. This is more of a general request of of making them so the items feel more impactful. We will look into it. No one cares. Who he cares? Would there ever be a visual time or indicator for debuffs, buffs, and procs? That would be so cool. While there are no current plans for this, we will try to see if something can be done here. For any future UX suggestions or improvements, don't hesitate to DM to ping Mariano. Next, when are Steam achievements going to be reworked? We got told it was one of the things Deca wanted to do like a year ago, but it still hasn't happened. Hello, this is Tiramisu. They've been actively working on this recently. Saturn is working on some art for this as we speak, and more team members are also on it. We're estimating that it will be ready late Q1, early Q2 2026. I guess it's almost end of Q1. With possible issues with reporting, such as spoofing videos that could undermine most player reports, absent proper logs, will Deca have a system that enables them to verify the player was in the specific dungeon at a specific placement in that dungeon at a specific time to match any reported video, in order to ensure that the veracity of reports and make sure bans can be maintained permanently without any doubt? Without these sort of logs, how will Deca avoid legal liability for these bans using evidence that can't be cross-referenced with logs for verification to make a good faith effort to ensure accuracy? Also, can we expect all bans relating to players who are themselves using hacks to be permanent in the future? Absent proper logs is the key phrase here. Our previous response to this Q&A addressed specifically our internal tech improvements coming very soon, TM, that will help us identify and track gameplay cheaters more efficiently. Also, yes, our intent, and has been for quite a while, to use permanent suspensions in cases of severe cheating violations. That would be cool. Let's see. Questions. Can you add whiz mod or stat mods or enchants on Piper Pan's flute? What the fuck? No one cares. Next. When is the Alien Exalt dungeon where we fight Exalted Calbrick, aka any plans for more Alien dungeons? That would be so cool. I love Alien theme in any game. Like, I fucking love the space levels in Crash Bandicoot so much. Holy shit. There are plans to do some expansions and improvement to the Alien events this year, as long as everything goes well. That's so cool. That is so cool. Is there any game where the Alien content missed? Will the baby white Drake skin ever be available for purchase? No one cares. I mean, it's nice to know if they're thinking about things, if they're actively working on it, or they've never considered it. It's still nice to know, you know? Because some of these things they said they're actively working on, and they gave a time frame. It's still nice to know the time frames and if they've ever considered anything and the severity they've considered it, you know? But they've given some good information behind the scenes, especially on the cheating front, but we'll see. Much love. Also sorry. This guy said he got back into the game because of me. I'm sorry. Now that the new enchantment system has been out for a while, are there any plans to slightly buff dust gain, especially purple, or decrease enchantment costs, especially purple? Just wondering if you're happy with the whole enchantment system. I think it's fine. I mean, I know it's grindy, but that's the point. Personally, it would be really nice to know what the odds are for hitting a specific enchantment. You can see there's a way to know this. Dust rates were originally set a little carefully, as we didn't want to give too much to players. Yeah, it would be such a power creep if they make it easier as well. That's another thing to consider. Will we get any new Mana Exalt locations? So far, there's free. What? There's free, man. There's Void, MV, and Shatters. And the other two locations feel too difficult. And another question, will we be getting a 4th class of each weapon type, or is this going to be unique to Druid? Hello, Nano here. You might be seeing something soon in this department. Boner. Boner. What could they mean by this? The Boner is either in relation to a new class or the Exalt. What do you guys think? Oh, you know what? Maybe Heroic Undead Lair is getting a Mana Exalt. Yeah, I do think Heroic UDL is way too easy for Mana Exalt, but what else could they mean by this? The Bone. Any other ideas? Speaking of Mana Exalt, perhaps the Garden of Eden. It's not bone-related Garden of Eden though. The only thing we know about Garden of Eden, I think, is that it's dragon-related. Will the game ever have any other forms of long-term progressions like Exalts, pets, and levels? Currently, we don't have plans for new systems. They really should release something, because they're adding new content, but they need stuff to make the current existing content funnel, because there's so much. It is more likely we try to improve and potentially expand the exaltation system as it was originally made, as sort of a stopgap that never got expanded upon. In this case, expanding the exaltation system would mean changing things up and not simply adding more grind to it. Oh, here we go. This is a sexy question. Can we get a new pirate class within the next 6 years? Please, 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 please. We generally don't release classes too often, but a pirate class is something I've thought a lot about personally. Within 6 years, it's certainly not an impossibility. Within 6 years? What the fuck? But but there are no plans at this time for it. Dude, they need to add more classes, man. They really do need to. They're trolling. Like, I was expecting this class to be a new weapon type for sure, with how much time they spent, and a lot of people probably were as well. I don't think Druid is a bad class, but with how long it took for Druid to come out, I expected way more. I would love to see content actually be scrapped when the team has stopped caring about it, such as White Snake Invasion. I think it's fine to exist. Like, it's not accessible. I'd love to see the dungeons and the modifier for this get removed from the game if there's not going to be any more content regarding it. Could we see some more scrap content happen soon? What the fuck is this guy talking about? He just wants to delete content? That's so cringe. Why? It would feel like the team is being more honest with the community. What? So odd. It's not even accessible, man. Like, if you want to run that dungeon, which is extremely hard to access, there's like rare keys for it. I don't understand. I hope they delete all the content in the game. Are we going to see the realms, biomes randomized each generation of a realm, or have custom ambience? I believe I remember seeing a post in the past about this being a goal. We're focusing our priorities on building out our current realm map to its full potential before considering any additional maps or randomizations, okay? Can we please see event keys sold year round, such as Omanias and Strongwells? I don't get it, because first he wants... This is the same guy that's asking for stopped content to be deleted. Snake invasions have been appearing and reappearing as events, so why is he now wanting more event dungeons to be more accessible now? What the fuck? We could talk about this eternally, mainly no one cares. When are we expecting to see Eternally Summoned, or what level of dungeons will we see in the Grave of Eden area or map expansion? Hello, this is Nano again. We will have communication about this very, very soon. Holy smokes. Please delete content and make it more common, thank you. Any plans on adding more NPCs to the game? Yeah, that would be cool. Specifically in the realms. Oh, that would be so awesome. I love the Daza Dominions villages. I feel as if it would be fun to encounter more neutral characters while exploring. No plans, but it is something we've always talked about and like the ideas of. We don't currently have any systems to make NPCs more interactable, so we've been holding off, but you might see some to just give the realm more life as we improve realm in the future. In my opinion, for the average experienced or veteran player, sometimes it's more dangerous and much less efficient to do Exalt level dungeons in the realm, namely Lost Souls, Shadows, and blah blah. This creates a weird dynamic where if you want to be as safe and efficient, then you want to turn to pre-made groups and discords, but in turn eliminate a lot of danger and excitement when playing realm. On the other hand, exalting a character takes genuinely an insane amount of time if you want to do it naturally and in small groups. Removing every aspect like deaths, maxing, nexusing, disconnects, and bad DPS. My calcs amount to around 180 to 200 hours to fully exalt a single class, which is absurd. I understand that this is a gameplay loop is also what generates income for you guys. However, are there any talks for making specifically exaltation dungeons in the realm, especially the harder ones in the realms, more safe or rewarding? Reward more exaltations, gameplay changes, and doing them with smaller groups, at least something of the sort. If there hasn't been any talks, what are your stances on this topic after Breedfort? I don't know. I think they should just super fuck the scaling so the large amount of groups. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. The problem is that, yeah, it's too efficient to be in groups for many reasons, like group buffs and stuff. I mean, playing solo is never something that you should really do, but my idea was always that if you're solo, you should have a mega buff to your loot or something. In general, we don't have a specific plans to make a divide between realm dungeons and keys. It has been talked about before, but no ideas have been discussed and that front has been agreed upon. Maybe they can make keys less beneficial. Dungeons have generally become a lot more accessible in the realm as they used to. No one cares, they're not doing anything. Last one, I remember plans on improving the tutorial and making it easier for new players to understand the game. Is this still being worked on? Yes, we do still have someone looking into ideas for improvements to the new player experience. This is why I'm taking a break, guys, because I've got a spicy video coming out on the realm new player experience, because we got Mackie to play for an hour and it was so funny to watch, and I want to make it into a YouTube video. And if they make any improvements to the new player experience which they're planning on very soon, it's gonna make that video expired, so it's very time sensitive. I'm gonna edit that video from scratch, and then there's 4 videos that I just need to touch on to finish them, and there will be 5 in 3 days. Insane efficiency. What did you think about the Deca responses? Comment down below. I feel like this gives me a bit more faith in Deca. I don't know about you. I'm live on Twitch right now doing a stream marathon, so come join via the link down below. Also, big shout out to those who support the stream, especially the ones who support me the most, the tier 3 subs on Twitch, and a huge special thanks to Ganoise and Cruzy for carrying the sebathon. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.